All right, so we're back with another video for you guys, another reaction video. And today we're going to be reacting to Coffeezilla's video that he dropped on his second channel on Spencer Cornelia and Noor Trades. Now, I personally never knew that Coffeezilla even had a second channel. I only know his main channel, and on the main channel, it looks like he drops a video like every 2 weeks, sometimes every month, every couple months. The last one I checked out was on Logan Paul, still not doing the refunds that he promised to his victims. So I was totally alarmed to know that he even has a second channel, and he's been dropping content on this channel. And it looks like now he's exposing, or he's talking about Spencer Cornelia and Noor Trades. Now, Spencer Cornelia is somebody I used to watch just as much as I watch Coffeezilla. But I feel like Coffeezilla does a much better job conducting his investigations overall. And honestly, I felt different about Spencer when he came out and defended his friends, Meet Kevin, Graham Stephan. And it could be because they're all signed to the same management companies. So I guess he feels less likely to expose them, rather defend them to protect his management contract. So something that just wasn't adding up for me there. And then he's also come out, or he's met up with other personalities, especially Mr. Organic, somebody that I cover pretty well on my channel, exposing him. He's another fake guru. So different things like that made me feel different about Spencer Cornelia's content. I don't really watch it as much as I used to, but I still respect them. But I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of iffy about them. But anyways, let's check out this video that Coffeezilla did on his second channel. This is actually the first time I'm watching this.
Welcome back to The Void. Today I've been exposed by a former fake guru, along with the help of Spencer Cornelia of all people. This is by someone named Noor Trades, who I called out 3 years ago. He's now released a video thinking that with Coffeezilla I wouldn't have time to expose him. But little did he know, The Void is super petty. We'll cover anything on this channel. Old Coffeezilla, I had too much work to do. Like, I had too many big investigations. Voidzilla, I'll respond. You know, he thought he was going to get away with this. He's not. But let's hear him out.
One of the big parts of the Coffeezilla video that I thought was really interesting, and it made you look really bad, and it definitely looked compelling that you were a fraud, is that you got asked a question about, if you were so successful trading, why would you teach others? And you stumbled on your words, you didn't look good, and so I was wondering, just looking back on it, what's your perspective now?
So this video was originally meant for Spencer's channel. That's why he ended up visiting me in Miami. But after finding out that I was fully legit and what we were about, he decided it wouldn't do too well on his channel. And that's what you could see from this comment on his Instagram.
Decided not to release it. Videos with legit guru.
See, this is one of those things where, like I said, it makes me feel different about Spencer Cornelia, especially like his in-person collabs with these so-called gurus. Why does it always seem like every time Spencer Cornelia links up with one of these gurus that he's exposed prior to meeting in person, why is it after their physical encounter or like the physical conversation that they suddenly now become legit? Like they get the stamp of legit approval or whatever. He does it every single time. I remember he did it with Mickey. You guys remember Mickey? He went and met with him. Mickey showed him his phone and all that. And then he was like, oh, okay, well, this looks legit. So he's legit now. Sorry. And then he did it again with Mr. Organic. This is another character. Now, I might not know everything about Mickey. I don't know everything about the gambling side of business, that industry. So, you know, I was like, you know, it's Spencer's word versus Mickey's word. They seem to get along. They seem to, he shows some receipts. But again, I mean, everything could be fabricated with these gurus. But when he did it with Mr. Organic and tried to say that Organic was legit, this is where I knew something is just not adding up with this guy, Spencer. It's just something is not, it's just not cooking right. Something is just not cooking right. When he does these in-person, when he does the traditional types of videos, like he's more convincing, all right? I feel like he does a little bit better research. But when he meets them in person and he just takes their word and then whatever they show him, it just suddenly becomes legit now. And then they get the stamp of approval. And it's just like, what happened? What happened, Spencer? Like, you just like, it's like a totally different character. He's like a totally different character in person. I don't know.
news, whoa, bomb on my channel. Now I reached out to Spencer, figure out what was going on, you know. He sent me a response, so we'll play that by the end of the video. But for
By the way, we're actually going to highlight some of the comments. I noticed under this second channel, this video right here, I got exposed on Voidzilla. There's like several comments on Spencer Cornelia that got like thousands. This one has 4,800 thumbs up. Spencer lost credibility when he defended his friends peddling a scam and called out coffee like 2 years ago. This is actually one of the first things that made me feel different. Like when he started, like I said, I don't know if these are the guys that are signed to the same management company that he signed into. And I honestly never knew he was even signed to a management. I'm like, how is a guy that exposes gurus and stuff like that signed to a management company that controls his content, or they have some type of say in his content and what he can and cannot do? And now he was defending that. I was like, hold on, it feels kind of weird. Spencer leverages his image of exposing scams to endorse scammers like that gambling guy. It's pretty nuts. It's a pretty nuts hustle.
now I want to sort of go through this, right? First of all, who is Noir Trades? Well, you can see in this video where 3 years ago, oh man, that was that was a lifetime ago. I called this guy out because he went on this channel called Loft. He paid $4,000 to get interviewed by this guy Loft, and he ends up getting made fun of in the interview because basically he's asked, you know, if you're trading, why do you have to sell a course if you're so rich? He says that he's this multi-millionaire trader, and he doesn't have a good answer to that. And the big things I want to emphasize is that Noir Trades has been caught stealing ideas from other gurus. His story makes no sense. His whole thing is, I went from $20,000 to like millions of dollars in, I think, 6 months. I mean, ridiculous. When he's like 18 years old. In fact, here's where he says this: 18-year-old turns 20,000 into $2 million in 6 months. And basically, that Loft interview was a
I just want to know, like, who are these stupid idiots that be buying these courses? It's like there is so many of these fake gurus, and Noir Trades. Anytime, I'm not going to isolate it to just Noir Trades, but just like you heard, he also sells courses. Anytime I hear any guy get on video or gal and they say they're selling courses on how to become successful, they're going to show you with their book or their masterclass or their mentorship program or their whatever, the turnkey ingredients, secrets to make millions of dollars in a short period of time. I lose interest immediately, man. I lose interest because that's when I know the money-making product or service is actually selling the course, selling the book, selling the mentorship, selling the masterclass. There's all these fake gurus that just want to sell these types of courses to you. I cover Mr. Organic. Mr. Organic just recently released an academy. He just had a masterclass 2 years ago. Last year, he had a mentorship program. A couple months ago, he had a book. It's like, what are you guys buying? He sells the exact same trash. You guys spend thousands and thousands of dollars on these courses. For what? They're all copying each other. So already, like when I heard he sells a course, I was like, that's the money maker. There is no, the trading, all these guys that claim to be real estate gurus, trucking gurus, they're going to teach you how to turn into a trucking business from a $20,000 initial investment to making millions of dollars like over 2 years. Doing the same thing with real estate. I hear it with Section 8 properties. I hear it with tax lien properties. It's like, when do people wake? Like, who are these fucking idiots buying this stuff?
puff piece, but it accidentally made him look bad. That was what the whole video was about. It was very funny. And then we covered the allegations that not only is all these day traders, all these 19-year-old day traders, they're all faking it. But not only that, this guy even got caught stealing signals from another person. He went into this guy's Discord chat when he was supposedly already this established trader, and he basically copied the trades, which is obviously something you wouldn't do if you were fully legit. But now with that context out of the way of what my video said, Let's see what this video is all about.
My entry's gonna be about 4:20, guys. I'm in these. A little early, but I like the weakness. Oh, there it goes. Wow.
Oh my God.
Very nice.
So I guess this is supposed to be some live trading of Noir. Let's get to the actual interview part because Spencer's going to show up. Let's see what he says.
Florida. This guy got exposed by Coffeezilla a couple years ago, and I'm just going to show up and ask him some questions. I don't know much about him, but there's always two sides of the story, and I want to hear his side. I think this will be interesting.
I think it's going to be interesting too. Are you going to ask him some hard questions, Spencer? That's the question.
You're going to enjoy this one. Here we go, everyone. I think I have a few good questions to ask. We'll see how he answers them. We'll see if he's telling me the truth.
Okay, I'm a little so number one, I'm a little bit skeptical of guys being like, I'll see if he's telling the truth if you're not going to press him. So the big thing we're looking for is, does Spencer press this guy, or does he just take all what he says to be true just off rip?
What's up, man? Thanks so much for having me, dude. Spencer.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, let's go on inside. So where are we at right now?
A house in Miami where I flew out 5 random students to just, transform their lives, have fun, and just see how my daily life goes.
All right, man, I'm out here because Coffeezilla, a good friend of mine, made a video about you a couple years ago. And so I'm wondering, what was your first reaction to that video?
I mean, as soon as I saw it, it was just, the title just pulled me into it. I was a little confused of where he was going with that, so...
It's pretty clear where I was going with it, Noir. I think you're a fraud. I think you're a fake guru.
I ended up taking a quick watch of that. I looked at it and just said, it's just another one of those videos. And then I let it go. And then I looked at it maybe like 2 months later and it had like over 1 million views.
What do you think the response was? Did you have students that were upset, or did you see like a loss of business at all from it?
Students weren't upset because they knew who I was as a trader. But as far as loss of business, it actually multiplied my business. It actually probably 10x my business.
This is the biggest cope they all say, but I'm always happy when they say it because I think, okay, you can't sue me now. You have to prove damages. So if I 10x your business, which you say, which I never believe, it's like, okay, well, now you can't come after me. So we're going to, bit by bit.
It's got to be like, I feel like it's got to be like people, it's probably got to be younger kids, younger people, I should say, that are probably buying this stuff. Or people, I guess it's not really age dependent. It's probably people that just don't do any kind of research as to what they're getting themselves into. Because if you are on social media, if you watch social media to be entertained, you're going to come across a lot of these gurus that are selling courses. And at some point, it's got to click in your head, like, hold on, I've literally seen 5, 6, 7 different personalities, and you probably see their ads all the time. Sign up. And there's even these like Instagram. I click on these Instagram videos. I think one of them was like the desirable truth. I don't know if it might not even be that guy. I think that guy does like the dating. He randomly interviews random girls. That must be a different guy. But there is like some of these guys that stand out with a microphone in the middle of the street, and it'll be all these people talking about all their successful businesses. And at the end, they'll be like, well, how can others do the same thing? Well, I got a course that is going to help you in 30 days change your life around to making millions of dollars. It's like at some point you got to come to realize that the course and all this stuff is the moneymaker. It's not whatever bullshit they're preaching and all this stuff. So I'm really like interested to know who is buying this stuff. Is it like age dependent, or is it people that just have no fucking brain at all? Like, who is buying this shit?
Pick apart Noir's case with Spencer. I've already watched this. It's a pretty favorable interview where basically the conclusion is Noir Trades is legit. So we're going to talk about all of that. Let's get more into this video. Already, though, the coping is real. In fact, the reason he puts my name in the little title is because he wants to rank with my video about him. So you already know it's a cope, because that's like literally why this video was made. Spencer Cornelia exposes Noir Trades Coffeezilla. He wants that to rank when you look up Noir Trades Coffeezilla.
Because of that.
That's fascinating. Yeah, and so I think from the outside, being under the assumption that day traders don't make money, I've always thought most of them were frauds online. And so I was wondering, like, what type of proof did you have, or that you could show him that maybe you actually turned 20K into 2 million or whatever?
So he never took the time to actually look into any proof. He just wanted the views for his channel. But if you go to my channel, I live record my logins. And I'm actually one of the only traders that do that. I only know one other trader that does that. No screenshots. no screen recordings, literally from the phone to the screen showing me live logging in from the login button.
Yeah, I've seen these. He actually doesn't live stream it. He records himself and then posts that to YouTube. I think he does this on Instagram as well, but he always hides the account. He always hides what's going on. And by the way, all of this stuff is fakeable. The whole thing, guys, you have to understand. You have to ask, does it make sense that a day trader would be giving away their strategy if they were making tons of money? Does it make sense that an 18-year-old made $2 million from $20,000 and then decides to sell a course when he's 18 years old? What does he know? In fact, Noir Trade says his whole origin story is he was an intern on Wall Street, which we'll hear about.
So I do agree with Coffeezilla about everything you see. Even if they're logging in, you can create programs. And that's kind of like, that's one of those things I'm like, I feel like Spencer, he's like a totally different character in person. Like, I feel like, I don't know what happens to him in person. Because if you guys know anything about Spencer, his background is in computer programming, computer development, and stuff like that. He would know that you can develop programs. You can create programs that would replicate somebody logging into any kind of trade account. Like, you can create the interface. You can do it from the front end and the back end. You can create almost anything. That's how all these phishing websites are created, and people click on them thinking it's the real website. Click on it, they take all your information, and then it's identity theft. Like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like Spencer, like, just because he showed you, again, I don't know. It just seems like he's a different character in person with these guys.
And then goes and flips. So that's 16. By 18, he's made $2 million trading. I don't think so. I'm calling BS on that. So this whole proof, he says, is just him logging into an account where you can't even see the account number, and then it just saying he has money in it, which he could have gotten from the students who pay him $300,000 a month for this garbage.
And then going into my documents and showing my P&L for the year.
One of the big parts of the Coffeezilla video that I thought was really interesting, and it made you look really bad, and it definitely looked compelling that you were a fraud, is that you got asked a question about, if you were so successful trading, why would you teach others? And you stumbled on your words, you didn't look good, and so I was wondering, just looking back on it, what's your perspective now?
So there's two things with that. One of them is, with that interview, you watched the Coffeezilla version. You didn't watch the actual interview where I actually didn't stumble. The second thing is, between every...
No, you did stumble. In fact, it was so funny that the guy you paid $4,000 to puts it at the beginning of the video because you look idiotic. Hold on, so he's saying that I edited him. To be clear, this is what I watched. This is Loft's video.
This guy is a scammer. He only came to this interview to advertise his scam. Do not join his Discord.
By the way, how pissed would you be if you paid $4,000 and they start the video by calling you a scammer and making you look stupid? I would be furious.
This guy makes money off people, not off stocks.
I actually just posted...
What's your response to that?
I mean, people... So, look.
When's market off?
So that was his edit. He made you look bad, okay? Don't blame it on me. Anyway, I just had to say that because this guy multiple times implies that I just wanted views, I just wanted clicks, I just didn't do my homework. So wait a second, that wasn't me. But anyway, let's continue.
Every interview and podcast, people who get interviewed know that they have to let you know the questions beforehand, or they have to ask you at the end of the video whether those questions are okay or not with you to be posted. And I've approved those questions, and I even came up with a couple of those questions with him.
We're out here with the... Okay, that's another part I wanted to talk about real quick. So Noir Trade says, you know, if I had looked bad, why would I approve these questions? I had to approve these questions because I paid for this. I found this surprising, and I didn't believe it for a second. So I asked Loft, I emailed Loft, and I said, hey, is it true that basically he approved all these questions, everything was like this scripted interview? And to my surprise, let me give credit where credit is due, Andrew Hales came back. I think that is true for the most part. I didn't ask him anything he wasn't okay with, and he approved the final draft.
So you're saying that Noir Trades accepts the... That's crazy. Hold on. That's so crazy. So he accepts looking like a clown on other people's channel. So when he paid, I heard $4,000, if I'm not mistaken, to be on some other guy's channel. And that guy basically called him out right at the start of the video that he's a scammer. He takes advantage of people. At the end of it all, he just sells a course, which, like I said already, I'm already skeptical. Anytime anybody says I sell a course on how to make millions or achieve success to buy my shit, that's when I know, okay, we're talking about this is cap now. This is all bullshit. But now they're saying that, Noor is saying that he, beforehand, before they made these videos, or when he makes videos with these content creators, he's fully aware of the questions being asked. And he's accepting to look like a clown. He's accepting to be called out deceiving, or I guess degrading. That's what I was trying to say. Degrading. Like, that guy was degrading him. He made him look like complete shit. And you're saying you are fully aware of the statements that are being made about you or going to be made about you on the video? That's crazy.
Before I uploaded, which I think is super sketchy. He paid $4K to do the interview, and I was pretty desperate, lol, even though I knew I'd lose some respect from my audience. He might have had some questions ready for me, but I can't remember. I'm not opposed to that kind of thing if it helps the interview be more successful. Did you know you can increase your... Anyways, I was kind of like, wow. Actually, I was shocked that Loft conducts his interviews that way. I mean, thanks for fact-checking that. And I guess that part is true, which makes me more confused, because why would you approve a podcast that made you look that bad? Like, that starts with calling you a scammer and you not having a good response for that off rip. So I was pretty surprised by that, but that checks out. And it made me wonder, guys, have I gotten it all wrong? Is he about to own me in this interview? Does he have the facts on his side? Let's find out.
A lot of your students, they've traded for like 30 minutes too, and I talked to a couple of them. They made pretty good money in 30 minutes.
I don't even remember what I just said.
Hold on, we need context for this. Did he just say, I watched your students trade for 30 minutes and then just stop?
And I even came up with a couple of those questions with him.
Hold on.
We're out here with a lot of your students.
Why are these students like, they're acting totally weird, man. They sound like they're high or something, like they're either high or drunk. Like, what kind of like boot camp is this? What kind of boot camp? I thought these guys were there to learn about trading. They look like they're having a better time doing what they're doing versus like actually learning anything about trading. And then here's the other thing. If they made that much money in a short period of time, why did they not continue? Like, if you're making a couple $1,000s in like an hour, then shit, you might as well keep doing it for the next couple hours. That's like free money at this point. Free money. Why would you stop? If you guys discovered a way to make a lot of money in a short period of time, what should that tell you? That should tell you, man, shit, I need to start doing more. I mean, I'll sit here all day and do the same exact thing I'm doing if I'm going to make more and more free money.
Facts on his side. Let's find out.
A lot of your students, they've traded for like 30 minutes too, and I talked to a couple of them. They made pretty good money in 30 minutes.
I don't even remember what I just said.
Hold on, we need context for this. Did he just say, I watched your students trade for 30 minutes and then just stop?
And I even came up with a couple of those questions with him.
Hold on.
We're out here with a lot of your students. They've traded for like 30 minutes too, and I talked to
Wait, did Noor trade? You just watched him for 30 minutes?
a couple of them. They made pretty good money in 30 minutes.
I don't even remember what I just said.
You just made 1,100. Are you going to keep trading for the day?
No.
So you only traded for about, I mean, we're probably 10 minutes into the trading for the day. Are you already done?
Yep. Just like that.
What? Wait, what?
No.
So you only traded for about, I mean, we're probably 10 minutes into the trading for the day. Are you already done?
Yep. Just like that.
Why so short? It seems like you'd be trading all day.
Yeah, why so short? If you're making so much money, why stop your trading? If you could just print money, if you have a money printing strategy, why trade for 30 minutes a day? Why not trade for a whole day and then you have enough money for like a month or a year? Yeah, it's really sketchy. So they invite over Spencer and they trade for like 5 minutes. Like, oops, I'm in profit, bro. Check it out. I'm in profit. And then, okay, what does he say? I want to know what he says.
You only trade for a short amount of time?
So yeah, I mean, I only trade on average maybe 30 minutes to an hour, as long as my level is there. But sometimes it just takes...
I don't know. There's something about Noor Trade's body language that just has me like iffy about the thing. Like, he's always like touching himself. Like, he's always scratching his beard, scratching his head, playing with his nose. Like, And then also, like, the position in which he's got his arms, like, crossed or, like, hugging his body. It's like a kind of like a defensive mechanism. Like, he's not really confident in what he's saying. Like, it's just something is just not adding up with him. But as soon as he said the whole thing about courses and stuff like that, I was already, like, checked out. Like, I was already by the exit door. I was like, all right, that's just another guru selling courses. That's how they all make money. They get you guys by promoting the lifestyle. The cars, the women, the rented house, and the money. And then everybody that's vulnerable to not having these types of things, the materialistic objects, they fall right into it.
A couple hours for my level to develop.
And what are these guys doing in the back? Is this the trading boot camp? Is part of the trading boot camp that you all take off your shirts and go into the backyard and lift?
My audience is going to see this and go, we still don't believe in a day trader or a stock trader. And the fact that you're making a lot of money brings up red flags to a lot of people. So I was wondering what you could share with my audience about how you can assess if someone is real or fake.
By the way, it's a classic mistake to ask a fake guru how to assess a fake guru. What do you think? They're going to describe themselves? Like, don't trust people in yellow shirts. No, they're going to be like, okay, here we go. All successful traders, they trade for 30 minutes a day. They find their level.
So, I mean, if you can't assess through me, you assess through the people around me. So I flew out 5 random students just to transform their lives.
Bro, is this Gold's Gym or is it a trading boot camp? I would be furious if this guy flew me out to teach me to trade stocks and we all traded for 5 minutes and they're like, all right, great, let's hit the gym. Oh my gosh, what is going on?
Financial.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. It's like every single fake guru nowadays, they try to up another level. This guy has basically like a fraternity house. I wouldn't be surprised if these are not real students. Like, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking Spencer is going to conduct a I guess it's kind of tricky also for Spencer to pull out a real investigation while on site at this guy's house, because there's all these there's like a lot of variables there, and they probably all had a well thought out plan. And when Spencer comes there, he's not going to be able to differentiate between students, friends, and like a party house. Basically, they're all going to try to make it seem like they're all real students. They're all there for one purpose, to make money. They made money, so now they get to enjoy, the fruits of their labor. So they get to enjoy the fruits of their labor from just earning a few $1,000s in a short period of time. But I'm just thinking, like, what you can spend that money just as quickly as you made it. So why not stick around, make more money? And if it only took was like 30 minutes or an hour, I think that's what they said, then why not just trade the whole day, make a serious amount of money, and then enjoy maybe the next 2 weeks off or something like that? I don't get it. Why do it only for 30 minutes?
Spiritually, mentally, and you could see from his account in the morning, full screen, you could see how much he made this morning. And it's just cool to see people around me make money rather than me, because I can tell you all day how much I make. I can live log in, people will still deny it, but then when you see someone that's 20 years old or someone that's 21 make money, that's a whole different story.
When you were on Fresh and Fit podcast,
To be clear, so far, as I understand it, we've gotten 10 minutes of trading proof. The proof is Spencer Cornelia showed up. They have this gang of guys. They all trade for 5 minutes, and they go, see, we're 100% legit. Well, why did you trade longer? Bro, I just got to hit my level, bro. I just got to hit my level. This is wild. And we're going to get into the accusations in a second, because the accusations, the big ones, haven't been answered at all so far. But hopefully Spencer's going to bring that up.
as you mentioned something about being a trader on Wall Street.
Correct.
What firm? I know some people might ask, like, what firm or what company did you work for?
So this is at the age of 16. I was on Wall Street. The place that I worked at was PMF.
Got it.
It was in the Trump building.
Yeah, because his video was really compelling, and I didn't know much about you. That's why I'm out here. And so you apparently have been trading for many years, and you've been profitable for how many of those?
Oh, by the way, this whole idea of I don't want to let this point go. The whole idea of I interned at Wall Street when I was 16. I don't know if that's true, for one, but it doesn't mean anything. I interned with like this chemistry professor when I was in high school. I had this weird job where I did that. I wouldn't call myself a chemist. I wouldn't a year later be like, I discovered the secret of synthesizing methamphetamine. No, I wouldn't do that. That's so silly. So I actually found an article where it says he was just doing clerical work on Wall Street. This is from his own Instagram. It says he was doing mostly clerical work. So he went from that, he did some clerical work, to making $2 million 2 years later? I don't think so. I mean, what did you do? Start with $3 million first? How did you do it?
Out of what?
Since you started.
It's been 7 years. I've been profitable since the beginning.
If you notice, when Spencer's talking to Nord Trades, and this is something I pointed out earlier, like his body language, he's always like playing with his face, his beard, his hair. Sometimes, like, especially right after this last question that Spencer asked him, he kind of stares up in the sky, and then, like, after he's done staring up in the sky, that's when he responds. Like, it's just like, I don't know, like I said, I mean, some people are not into body language. Like, they've never really, like, when you're talking to somebody, some people don't really focus on that, but I do. I kind of, like, pay attention to small details like that. Their body language, their hesitation in responding. And it's, like, different things like that that just make me feel skeptical about whether their answers are fully legit, or they're thinking about what would make sense and saying what I'm about to say to seem as convincing as possible that what I'm about to say is actually believable. That it's so believable that people are going to listen to this and be like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's exactly what these traders do. So because he answered this way, then that must mean that he's believable, that what he's saying is facts. But you got to think, like, before he responds with this answer, he's staring around and he's kind of formulating that answer, versus somebody that you ask them a question and they're, like, you know, staring right at you. And it might be the same type of body language communication the whole time. But I don't know. Some people might not realize that stuff. It never crosses your mind. But next time you talk to your friend, a family member, just pay attention to their body language. Maybe start off with, like, regular questions, right? Just questions that you know the answer to. You know the answers you're going to hear out of your friend or family member. And then ask something, you know, rather something that you are unaware of. Like, what did they do in the last past weekend? Because maybe you guys didn't talk the past weekend. You don't know what he did. Or just make up something that you know is a lie, and then try to see if there is a differentiation in body language. Like, did you go out with that girl? Like, you'll immediately see, like, if you know this, you know your best friend really well, and you know this person is married or whatever, and then you ask them, hey, did you go out with this girl? That girl we met at the bar 2 months ago, I heard you met with her. You know it's a lie. It's a made up lie. I guarantee you there's going to be a change in body language. They're going to be like, huh? Look at their eyebrows. They might scratch themselves. There'll be a change in body language.
Also, huge red flag. The idea of, I've just always been profitable. Everybody knows there's a million studies out there. Most day traders, over 90%, lose money. It's glorified gambling for a lot of these people. And so when you hear someone saying, like, I have a system and I want to sell it to you, they're going to defraud you. It's all this big scam of trying to teach you. If they had something real to teach, they would keep it for themselves if it really made them this kind of money. It's the most obvious grift in the world.
Right. I actually was talking with this.
That's exactly true. Coffeezilla is 100% true with this. Just like, think about any successful product, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. If they sat there and sold their recipe to people on how to make millions selling soda, that would be a direct competitor to them. Think of any successful product. Successful product, would they come out after making millions and millions of dollars, billions of dollars, come out and teach you how to make the same product using their recipe, their ingredients? Of course the fuck not. That's like creating a direct competitor. Why would they be okay with creating direct competitors? All these guys that Nor Trade is selling courses to, they're eventually going to be direct competitors. If he's teaching you the secrets on how to make money using whatever cheat code he's doing, then if everybody's doing the exact same cheat code, then that's direct competition.
I was talking with a buddy about this on how, like, you can actually scam for like 6 months to a year, maybe max, like on social media. If you're a real fraud, you can probably make $1 million or $2 million, but at some point that I found, at some point you're going to get found out. You're going to have a lot of students that are upset. Students are going to send me, by the way, no student has come to me with like, hey, this guy's a fraud, I've lost money with him. That's why
What does this mean? And what are you talking about? He goes, you could only grift for so long on social media, otherwise you're going to get found out. Bro, he was found out in my video. Literally, we showed how he's stealing other Signal groups' chats and then just puts him in his little tiply, his little Discord Signal group. So I don't know what you mean you would get found. He has been found out. And I don't know if you would have been sent something by his students, because have you made a video previously about him? I mean, what are you talking about? Like, is this not the first video you've done? Maybe I'm confused about this, but I don't think saying nobody's personally reached out to me, so what?
Hey, it's Justine, and
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man, but I think Coffeezilla just ended Spencer Cornelia's career, man. Like, that dude, Spencer, his career is over right now. This has got to be like the third strike. The second one was when he came out and defended his friends. Meet Kevin, Graham Stephan, and there was another guy too. There were like a bunch of guys in the financial space, financial community on YouTube. And that whole FTX thing, when it went down and Sam Bankman-Fried got exposed, got locked up, or the whole criminal case right now with him. And Spencer was defending them. He clearly came out and defended them, which contradicts the type of content he puts out on his channel. But I think his hands might have been tied, because they're all part of the same management company. They're all ran by the same organization that controls their content or controls what they can and cannot do. So it's a conflict of interest if he was to expose them. It was so weird. A lot of people felt like he was protecting people that didn't have the best interest of their audience. So I think that was like strike 2. And then I don't remember what was strike 1. It might have been a combination of these personalities that he's talked about prior on video, like his traditional way of making content. And then when he meets someone in person, he's like a totally different character, like he is now. Like, I think it was like Mickey, Mr. Organic. He talked about them before making the whole in-person collab thing. And then when he got in person with them, he was like, just whatever they showed him suddenly became legit. So they could have just made any kind of like statements, showed it to him, or shown him any kind of app on their phone. And just because whatever on their phone seems convincing, that suddenly became legit. Whereas online, his traditional way of making content is kind of similar to Coffeezilla, because he would actually still dissect whatever they put out there. So what difference does it make when they show it to you physically on their phone? Why aren't you doing any kind of dissection there? You just take it at face value. But if that's the way you plan on doing that content, then you could have just taken everything they said online without the physical interaction at face value. Like, I just feel like, I think at this point, Coffeezilla has destroyed Spencer Cornelia. I think a lot of people are going to feel different. I don't think Spencer Cornelia is a bad guy, but I think people are going to just be a little bit skeptical about his content going forward, whether, it's in the best interest of his audience, or if he's protecting certain people, sponsors. The same thing he kind of talks about the people that are out here to take advantage of people. In a way, he's doing the same thing because he's protecting certain individuals to protect their brand, their reputation. So it's kind of bizarre. Like I said, I feel it feels different now. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like Spencer is the same guy I watched before. Like when he talked about basketball players, when he talked about pastors, you know, taking advantage of people, their sketchy businesses, the crypto scams from different influencers. Like at that point, he was more relevant. But now, I feel like as soon as he started doing the in-person stuff, that's when things kind of like fell apart. But I think we're going to wrap up here for part 1. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section, and we'll do a part 2. So definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video. Thank you guys so much for watching.